Greetings, my friend. Today we embark on a journey of self-mastery, an exploration of how to control our emotions through the wisdom of the Stoics. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism is more than just theory. It's a practical guide to navigating the storms of life with clarity and strength. Before we begin, let's make this interactive. Write this in the comments below as your personal commitment. I will master myself. This simple act will set your intention and remind you of the power you hold within. Together, we'll dive into 10 profound lessons that have shaped my life and countless others who've walked the Stoic path. Each lesson is a step toward emotional freedom and inner peace. So, grab a notebook, take a deep breath, and let's begin this transformative journey. Lesson 1. Distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. Let's start with the foundation of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a paradigm shift. Think about how much time you spend worrying about things beyond your control, whether it's other people's behavior, the weather, or global events. When we let these external factors dictate our emotions, we give away our power. Here's a practical exercise. Write down 3 things that are causing you stress. Now, categorize them. Things you can control. Things you cannot control. For the things you can control, make a plan of action. For the rest, remind yourself to let go. When I started practicing this daily, my mind became clearer, and my emotions stopped feeling like a runaway train. Lesson 2. Practice voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed in preparing for adversity by practicing voluntary discomfort. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" I'll share a personal story. A few years ago, I decided to live without my usual comforts for a week. No hot showers, no takeout, no soft pillows. At first it was uncomfortable, even frustrating. But by the end of the week, I felt a profound sense of freedom. I realized that my happiness didn't depend on these luxuries. Try this. Pick one small discomfort to embrace this week. Maybe it's skipping your morning coffee or walking instead of driving. You'll find that your tolerance for life's inevitable challenges grows stronger. Lesson 3. Reframe adversity as an opportunity. Life is full of obstacles, but Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This mindset is revolutionary. It transforms adversity from something to fear into something to embrace. Once, I faced a significant setback in my career. At first, I was angry and overwhelmed. But instead of succumbing to those emotions, I asked myself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? That challenge forced me to rethink my approach, and it ultimately led to an even better opportunity. So, here's a question for you. What's one obstacle in your life right now? Write it down. Now, reframe it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can this serve me?" You'll be amazed at how your perspective changes. Lesson 4. The power of the present moment. The present moment is a gift, yet so many of us let it slip through our fingers while dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Why? Because it's the only place where we have any real power. Let me ask you something. How much of your time is spent ruminating on past mistakes or anxiously planning for future uncertainties? I used to be stuck in this loop, and it robbed me of the joy and clarity of now. One practice that helped me break free is mindfulness. When I eat, I savor each bite instead of scrolling through my phone. When I speak with someone, I give them my full attention instead of rehearsing my to-do list in my head. Another Stoic exercise to ground yourself in the present is called view from above. Imagine yourself from a bird's eye view, watching your life unfold in this moment. Then, zoom out even further, seeing yourself as a small part of the vast universe. This perspective brings clarity and calm. Try this. The next time you feel overwhelmed, stop. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Feel your body in the chair, the air on your skin, and the sound of the world around you. Anchor yourself to the now. It's in this moment that life truly happens. Lesson 5. Memento mori. Remember you will die. Memento mori, a Latin phrase that means, remember you will die. At first glance, it might sound somber, but this lesson is profoundly empowering. Seneca wrote, "Let us prepare our minds as if we've come to the end of life." I reflect on mortality not to feel fear, but to gain perspective. When you remember that life is finite, you stop wasting time on trivialities. Arguments, grudges, even fears lose their grip. Here's a practice for you. Write down 3 things you would focus on if you knew this was your last year of life. Let those priorities guide your decisions. Lesson 6. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a cornerstone of emotional mastery. Seneca said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Yet, how often do we take our blessings for granted? I used to focus so much on what I lacked, more money, more success, more recognition, that I missed the incredible abundance already in my life. When I began practicing gratitude intentionally, it transformed my perspective. Here's an advanced gratitude practice that I've found profoundly helpful. Reflect on the seemingly mundane. Each night, think about 3 ordinary things you appreciated that day, perhaps a good cup of tea, a warm conversation, or even a quiet moment. Gratitude in adversity. This is where Stoicism shines. When faced with a challenge, find something to be grateful for. Did you learn a lesson? Did the difficulty strengthen your resolve? Gratitude in tough times is a powerful emotional tool. Gratitude letters. Write a letter to someone who has positively impacted your life, alive or past. You don't even have to send it. The act of writing fosters deep appreciation. By shifting your focus to gratitude, you train your mind to recognize the good, even in hardship. Over time, negativity and envy lose their grip, and you become anchored in a mindset of abundance and peace. Lesson 7. Control your judgments. Our emotions are not dictated by events, but by how we interpret them. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." This lesson is simple, yet profound. Your judgments create your emotional reality. Let me share a story. I once missed an important flight due to a delay. At first I was furious, blaming the airline, the weather, even myself. But then I paused and reframed the situation. Instead of focusing on what I lost, I asked, "What can I gain?" That extra time at the airport became an opportunity to read and reflect, and I left feeling calmer than when I arrived. Here are 3 ways to practice controlling your judgments. When something triggers you, take a breath and delay your response. This gives you a moment to evaluate whether your judgment is serving you. If someone's rude to you, consider what they might be going through instead of assuming malice. Empathy dissolves anger. Instead of labeling an event as terrible or unfair, describe it objectively. This is what happened. Neutral language calms the mind and reduces emotional reactivity. Mastering your judgments doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing a narrative that empowers rather than drains you. The next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what story am I telling and how can I rewrite it? You'll be amazed at the peace this practice brings. Lesson 8. Amor fati. Love your fate. Amor fati, or love your fate, is a core Stoic teaching. Nietzsche described it as not merely to endure the necessary, but to love it. The Stoics believed that everything in life, good or bad, is part of the greater whole. I once experienced a failure that seemed insurmountable. But by adopting this mindset, I began to see the failure as an integral part of my growth. Instead of resisting or lamenting the situation, I embraced it as something meant for me. Here's a practice for you. When faced with something difficult, say to yourself, "This too is part of my story." By learning to love your fate, you'll find strength in acceptance and transform even the harshest trials into opportunities. Lesson 9. Premeditatio malorum, anticipate misfortune. The Stoics taught the importance of preparing the mind for challenges. Seneca called this premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It's not about dwelling on negativity, but about equipping yourself to face life's inevitable difficulties with composure. For example, before I step into a big meeting, I visualize possible setbacks, technical issues, misunderstandings, or unexpected questions. By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, I stay calm when things don't go as planned. Try this exercise. At the start of each day, reflect on potential challenges. Think about how you might respond calmly and effectively. This preparation won't make you pessimistic. It will make you resilient. Lesson 10. Sympathia. Recognize your connection to the universe. The Stoics often spoke of sympathia, the understanding that we are all interconnected, part of a greater whole. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We are all parts of one great body." This lesson reminds us that our emotions don't exist in isolation. They ripple outward, affecting those around us. When I feel anger or frustration, I pause and remind myself that the person on the other side of the conflict is also part of this shared existence. This perspective helps me replace judgment with compassion, anger with understanding. Reflect on this. How are your actions and emotions influencing others? By seeing yourself as part of the larger universe, you'll find it easier to cultivate empathy, patience, and harmony in your interactions. So there we have it, 10 Stoic lessons to help you master your emotions. 1. Distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. 2. Practice voluntary discomfort. 3. Reframe adversity as an opportunity. 4. Embrace the power of the present moment. 5. Memento mori. Remember you will die. 6. Cultivate gratitude. 7. Control your judgments. 8. Amor fati. Love your fate. 9. Premeditatio malorum. Anticipate misfortune. 10th Sympathia. Recognize your connection to the universe. These 10 lessons are more than words. They're a way of life. Mastering your emotions takes time and practice, but it's worth every effort. Remember, you hold the power to choose your response in any situation. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which lesson resonated the most? Share it below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more insights. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, stay calm, stay mindful, and remember, you have the strength within to master yourself. Remember, life's challenges don't define you, how you respond to them does.